Hey there everyone, in this video we are going to be talking about how to divide a decimal number by another decimal number. This goes hand in hand with day number 4 of your packet. So right now I'm going to go ahead and pull up that page for us. You guys go ahead and flip to that page of your packets and we are going to take a look at some example problems for how to do decimal division. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip our screen over so that we can see it. Okay, this is what this page is going to look like for you. To get us started, I'm going to go ahead and walk us through the steps of how they solved this first example problem, and then I'm going to do an example problem of my own so that you can see step by step how to divide a decimal number by another decimal number. Okay, so if we look at our instructions, it says fill out the area model for each decimal division problem. Count the groups and then solve the problem. So if we look at the first problem, they're taking 8/10 divided by 2/10. Okay, so they drew a model for that. An area model is going to be one of those squares that is made up of 100 smaller squares in it. Okay, so 10 rows of 10. So what they did in order to solve this problem is they shaded in 8/10 or 8 rows of 10 blocks. Okay, to show us that that is the whole. That is the number that we are dividing, right? And then if you see these little brackets here, they split that model into groups of 2. Okay, so they determined there were 4 groups of 2 rows in this overall model, right? Because 2 rows plus 2 rows plus 2 rows plus 2 rows gives us 8 rows altogether. Okay? So if we look over here, there is actually a slight error here that I want to point out. They took 8/10 divided by 2/10. This right here should be 4. Okay, not 4/10, just 4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the correct number in there. It is 4. So the number that you get here is going to be the same number that you get for your answer. Okay? So let's go ahead and let's walk through problem number 2 together. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to erase these and scroll us down to the problem 9/10 divided by 3/10. So if you remember what I told you guys up top, we're going to start by shading in 9 rows of 10 or 9/10 of this model here. Okay? So I'm going to shade in these 9 rows. Actually, let me use a different one. That's a little easier for us to see through. Okay, I'm going to shade in 9/10 of these rows. Right, and then I'm going to separate it into groups of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my drawing tool and I'm going to use green. Why not? So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. That's one group. 1, 2, 3. That's another group. And 1, 2, 3. That's my last group. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3 groups of 3 in this model here. Okay. So my answer then is going to be 3. Okay. 3 groups of 3 rows. So I'm going to go ahead over here again and put my answer. My answer to problem number 2 is 3. It is just the same as if we were taking 9 divided by 3. So another way to think about that would be if you take 0.9 divided by 0.3, you're going to cross out our decimal and move it over a place here to make it a whole number. So since we moved it over one place there, we got to do the same here. Now this problem is exactly the same as taking 9 divided by 3. Okay? So that is how you're going to do the decimal division for this problem. I'm going to go ahead and erase this so that we can go down and look at page number 2 of this section. Okay, it says day 4 continued, and this is going to be kind of a mixture of different decimal problems. So if you need a little bit of a refresher on how to do decimal addition or subtraction, or how to multiply a decimal number by another decimal number, you can go back and check out the other videos that I did. They are all labeled with the skill that you need. But right now, I want to go ahead and look at problem number 6. Okay, so to talk about problem number 6, I went ahead and I did this on a piece of paper because if you've watched any of my past videos, you will know that I have issues writing with the mouse here. So I'm going to show you on a piece of paper where it is a little bit more neat. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull up that screen for us real quick. Okay, so if you look, you will see where I solved this problem right here. It is 1.2, or 1 2/10, divided by 5/10. You should all be able to see that on your packet. Okay, so what I did was I started out and I had to see how many times, well, no, I started out actually, and I moved the decimal over one place to make it a whole number division problem. Okay, so if you move the decimal to the right one over here, you have to do the same thing over here. So this problem becomes 12 divided by 5. Now I'm going to see how many times can 5 go into 12. I know that it's 2, and 5 times 2 gives me 10. Okay, so my next step in long division like this is to take 12 minus 10, which leaves me with 2. But we cannot have a remainder when we're doing decimal division. So I need to add a 0. I go up and I add a 0 to the right of my decimal point, and I bring my decimal point up to my quotient, or my answer, right? Now I can bring the 0 down and I can finish solving the problem. So I brought my 0 down, I made this 20. Now I have to see how many times can 5 go into 20. I know that 5 times 4 gives me 20. So I take 5 times 4, do 20 minus 20, and I am left with nothing. I have no remainder. I have completely solved the problem. So your answer to problem number 6 is going to be, hold on, let me pull that problem back up for you. Your answer to problem number 6 is going to be 2 4/10, or 2.4. Okay. So I hope that that helps you. I hope that you understand now how to divide decimals a little bit more easily. If you have any more questions on it, go ahead and let me know. But in the meantime, good luck and stay safe.